Logic 8. Look at the statement here. It says, if two subjects refer to the same person or thing, the verb, whatever you are going to use in the sentence, will be definitely singular. Look at the example. Let me make you understand. The first example says, my sidekick and best friend has arrived. If you look at the sentence externally, you might be getting a feeling saying, okay, sidekick. By the way, for people who do not know the meaning of the word sidekick actually means personal assistant. If you are a person who watches a lot of English movies, this would certainly not be a new word for you. However, if you do not know, here we go. We are learning the same over here. Okay. So if we look at the sentence here, you have a feeling you're talking about personal assistant, which means sidekick, plus you're even talking about best friend. So when you're talking about two different people, how come you're using a singular verb? A very big question to ask. Okay. Although externally it makes us feel as if we are talking about two different people in one sentence, unfortunately, the sentence is actually conveying a different meaning what any of us could even imagine. What is that? Very simple. Friends, we are not talking about two different people here in the sentence. Rather, we are actually talking about one person who is not only playing the role of a sidekick, but also playing the role of a best friend. Okay. So, we are talking about how many people here? One person who is playing two different roles. Now, tell me one thing. Is this logically, practically, realistically possible in our life? Yes, of course. Currently, if I talk about myself, I'm somebody's daughter, I'm somebody's sister, I'm somebody's wife. In future, I will be somebody's mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, right? So, exactly the same. One person playing multiple roles. Okay? So, that's what exactly the logic is all about. Whenever you are talking about two subjects, which separately looks like two different subjects, but referring to the same person or thing. Exactly like how we can see over here in the entire sentence. It says it will always go with a singular verb. Is it happening? Has it singular or plural? Definitely it is singular. So ultimately one thing what you have to ask yourself is, how many people arrived? How many people arrived? Only one. So when one person arrived, that person is your subject. When subject is singular, verb will be automatically singular. Right? So this is what exactly is the moral of the story. Now let me show you avatar 2 of the same logic. Macaroni and cheese is yummy. Macaroni and cheese is yummy, right? So you should be thinking, macaroni separate item, cheese separate item, how come is? Let me ask you another question. Especially in South India, idli and sambar is very, very famous. Let's imagine right now, I go to a hotel, I eat idli and sambar, and I come out. Somebody asks me the question, hey, how was idli and sambar? I will definitely say, idli and sambar was very, very tasty. Especially here in this hotel, it is awesome. It is delicious, right? So look at that. Did I say idli and sambar are tasty or idli and sambar is tasty? I use the word is. Why? Because although idli and sambar are two separate items which are prepared separately, it's actually one combination of food. One combination of food, right? Nobody is a fool to have only idli without sambar or sambar without idli. That's exactly the point I'm trying to convey over here. Like how idli and sambar is a combination of food. In Italian food, macaroni and cheese is also a combination. Okay. So how many combinations are we talking about? We are talking about one combination. That's the reason we are saying macaroni and cheese is yummy. Bread and butter is my favorite. Look at one more example. Look at the last sentence in the same row. Gaurav's colleague and compatriot plays a mean alto sax. Alto sax is actually a musical instrument. Okay. So again, if you look at the sentence, it makes us feel as if we are talking about two different people. One is Gaurav's colleague, another one is Gaurav's compatriot. So why are we using a singular verb? The answer is very simple. Because we are not talking about two different people. Rather, we are talking about one person who is actually playing two different roles. Okay. So this person is not only Gaurav's colleague but also Gaurav's compatriot. Okay. Who plays a mean alto sax. How many people are playing? One person. So one is singular or plural? Singular. When your subject is singular, the verb has to be singular. Are they matching with each other? Yes. Okay, this will definitely seem like a perfect continuation of logic 5. You might be able to recollect it now. We discussed either or, neither nor, whether or, not only but also, right? Under logic 5, we spoke about two subjects followed by one verb. So right now what we're discussing is not either or as a combination, not even neither nor as a combination, not even whether or as a combination. We're actually discussing something very different. Remember, whenever the sentence, let's say the sentence has only neither, it doesn't have or. Okay. Let's even say the sentence has only or, but it doesn't have neither, which is actually a combination. Okay. Remember, whenever the sentence separately has only neither or the word or, blindfoldedly go with a singular verb. Very simple. Okay. Look at the example here. The nymph or the lamia was twining her legs around the tree. There are two parts. This is part 1 and this is part 2. Both the parts are actually conjoined with the help of the word or. So this is what exactly I am talking about. When two parts of the sentences are joined by or nor, blindfoldedly go with a singular verb. First of all, see what is the verb in the sentence? Was. Is it singular or plural? Singular. So is it correct or incorrect? Definitely correct. Okay. Remember, the nymph or the lamia. I'm not saying the nymph and the lamia. If I would have said the nymph and the lamia, the answer would have changed to where? Because we are talking about two different people together. Not only lamia, but also nymph. But here we are using the word or. So or, wherever the two parts of the sentence is actually connected by or nor, always blindfoldedly go with a singular verb. As we discussed or separately, let's even discuss either separately too. The sentence only has either. You can see here, nowhere in the sentence you can see the word or for sure. Okay, so what did we learn a few seconds ago? Whenever the sentence separately starts with either or neither, blindfoldedly go with a singular verb, which is very, very easy to understand. Okay, either of the dresses. Yes. So the moment you say either, the meaning of either is two. Okay, once again, the meaning of neither is two. The only difference is either is always used in a positive sentence, neither is always used in a negative sentence. But definitely when you're talking about either and neither, you're certainly talking about two options or maybe two choices for sure. Okay, let's say this is dress 1. Okay, and this is dress 2. Right, dress 2. This is dress 1 and dress 2. So I'm actually trying to convey the message. Either dress 1 or dress 2 looks good on you. So obviously I cannot wear dress 1 and dress 2 simultaneously. Either I can wear dress 1 or I can wear dress 2. So I'm actually conveying a message over here. Either dress 1 or dress 2 looks good on you. Either this or that. So instead of saying either dress 1 or dress 2, I'm coming up with the statement either of the dresses. Means any of these two dresses looks good on you. Looks is singular or plural? Singular. So are they matching with each other? Yes. Now let's take up one example for nor, because we have even nor over here. Let me change or to nor. The robot nor the dentist has requested a tango. Okay. So once again we have robo and the dentist, but that's not the point. Both the parts are connected by nor. It means a negative sentence, right? So the moment the two parts of the sentences are connected by nor, go with the singular verb. What is the singular verb here? Has. Okay, definitely singular, no doubt about it. So is it correct or incorrect? Definitely correct. Okay, that's how it works out. Are we clear about this? Very nice. Whoa, this one is, I think, going to be very interesting for all of you, because you must have definitely learned time, speed and distance under aptitude, where one or the other trainer must have dealt with this particular topic. However, here it's not time, speed and distance, it's actually time, money and distance. Now, what are these three factors doing under subject-verb agreement? Very simple. Remember, whenever there is a sentence which is talking about time or money or distance, whenever any sentence is talking about time, money or distance, blindfoldedly go with the singular verb. Look at the first sentence. It says $100 is a lot of money for a bottle of wine. Okay. So what are we talking about? We are not talking about bottle of wine. We are actually talking about $100 what we are spending on bottle of wine. And I'm saying $100 is very, very expensive. Okay. So $100 is our subject. Is it singular or plural? That's what is exactly the logic is all about. Okay. Remember, what does it say? Whenever you talk about time, money and distance, it always goes with a singular verb. Now $100 is time, money or distance. It is definitely money. $100 definitely more than one. Looks and sounds like a plural word, but unfortunately you have to understand $100 is one amount of money. How many amount? One amount of money. It is one money factor. So whether you're talking about $100, 100 yens, 100 bucks, 100 rupees, any currency, any number, doesn't matter. Remember, it will always be considered as a singular subject without any doubt. Okay. So when the subject is singular, the verb has to be singular. What is the verb? Is singular or plural? Definitely singular. Are they matching with each other? Certainly. So the agreement is absolutely perfect. Go to the next one. 7 minutes is left for the new year to begin. So what are we talking about? We are not talking about new year. We are actually talking about 7 minutes. I'm talking about only 7 minutes is left for the new year to begin. So 7 minutes becomes the subject. Singular or plural? Of course singular, because 7 minutes is actually a time factor. Whether you are talking about 7 minutes, 70 minutes, 70 hours, 70 days, 70 months, 70 decades, 70 centuries, anything. Okay? Any number, any measurement of time, doesn't matter. Remember, the moment you talk about time, the verb in the same sentence is expected to be singular. That's the rule what you have to apply. So 7 minutes is our subject. 7 minutes is singular or plural? Singular. What is the verb is? Is it singular or plural? Singular. Are they matching with each other? Yes. Go to the next one. Let's go to the last sentence here, which is speaking about distance. Look at this. It says 93 million miles is the distance from the sun to the earth. So we are neither speaking about the sun nor speaking about the earth. We are actually speaking about the distance. What is the distance? 93 million miles. As we are talking about 93 million miles, 93 million miles becomes our subject. Is it singular or plural? Definitely singular, because 93 million miles is a distance. Whether you are talking about miles or kilometers or yards, the moment you talk about distance, irrespective of the number, irrespective of the different measurements what we have to measure the distance, doesn't matter. You should only go with a singular verb. That's the moral of the story over here. So our subject in the sentence is 93 million miles. What is the verb in the sentence? Is singular or plural? Singular. Are they matching with each other? Yes. This is going to be one of the atom bomb logics in subject-verb agreement, because one logic but three different avatars you would get to see, like avatar 1, avatar 2, avatar 3. So let's see what are these different avatars we are talking about over here in the logic. So what does the logic say? It says, whenever words like number, ratio, majority, minority, percentage, if any of these words are followed by the in the sentence, it means if the sentence is starting with the number, the ratio, the majority, the minority, the percentage, blindfoldedly go with the singular verb. Don't even read, understand, try to analyze the sentence, which is not needed. This is the best trick you can ever come across in subject-verb agreement. So blindfoldedly go with the singular verb. What does the second one say? It says, if the same words number, ratio, majority, minority, percentage are followed by a. So this time it is not the number, it is a number, a ratio, a majority, a minority, a percentage. If that's the case, the verb could be either singular or plural. Now the question is, on what basis? How do we decide that? Let's learn the same now. Look at the first sentence. It says, the number of people involved in research and development in biotechnology has increased drastically. Look at the sentence. You need not to waste your time by reading the sentence, understanding and trying to solve it, because the sentence is actually starting with the number. That's what we discussed. Whenever the sentence starts with the number, the ratio, the majority, the minority, the percentage, blindfoldedly go with the singular verb. That's what the rule says, right? So what is the verb here? Has. Has is singular or plural? Singular. What is the subject logically here? We are actually not talking about people. We are talking about the number of people, which is singular. When the subject is singular, the verb has to be singular. Once again, the same pavilion we are coming back to. Okay, very easy to understand, right? Look at the next one. This is avatar 1. Let's go to avatar 2 now. A number of people. Ditto sentence. The only change what you can see over here is, this time it is not the number, it's actually a number. What did we learn in the logic? We actually learned whenever it is a number, a ratio, a minority, a majority, a percentage, the verb could be either singular or plural. Now the question comes into picture. On what basis do I decide this? How do I get to know whether the verb has to be singular or plural? Very simple. Remember, a number could be singular, could be plural. That's why this entire confusion is. So, first of all, I have to decide whether a number is singular or plural, based on which I can easily decide whether the verb has to be singular or plural. Whenever you have a sentence in which you have a subject and you have this confusion, you're not very sure whether the subject is singular or plural. Whenever you come across this situation, remember, just look at the next word. Just look at the next word. If the next word is singular, the subject will be singular. If the next word is plural, the subject will be automatically plural. For example, here, same scenario we are facing. We don't know whether the number is singular or plural. So how do I decide that? By looking at the next word. What is the next word? People. Singular or plural? plural. So as people is plural, automatically a number also became plural. So when our subject is plural, our verb has to be plural. What is the verb? Have. Singular or plural? Definitely plural. Are they matching with each other? Yes. This is how it works out. Okay. I'd like to give one example over here. Let's say now, let's imagine if I say 3/4 of student club. Okay. Maybe the sentence is starting with 3/4. So I'm very sure the subject is actually 3/4. But I'm not very sure whether 3/4 is singular or plural. So how do I decide that? By looking at the next word. What is the next word? Student club. Right? So student club is singular or plural? Definitely singular. So as student club is singular, 3/4 also became singular. When the subject is singular, automatically the verb will be singular. So whatever you have to write, the 3/4 of student club is, or maybe was, or maybe has, or maybe had, or maybe does, or maybe did. Apart from these 6 helping verbs, you'll not be able to use any other helping verbs for sure. That's exactly the lesson we have learned from this. Now let's go to Avatar 3. In fact, the one what we spoke about just now will be the same, which is called as Avatar 3 here. Look at the sentence. It says a number of population. Everything is as it is, no changes at all in the sentence. This time once again the sentence is starting with a number, right? So I'm not very sure whether a number is singular or plural. How do I decide this? By looking at the next word. What is the next word? Population. Population is singular or plural? Definitely singular, because population is a collective noun. Go back to logic 4 what we learnt. Collective nouns are always singular. That is something what you cannot afford to forget, right? So as population is singular, a number automatically becomes singular. When the subject is singular, the verb has to be singular. What is the verb? Has. Singular or plural? Singular. Are they matching with each other? Yes. The agreement is absolutely perfect. Okay. This is something very important. I request you to practice as many questions as possible in the same section based on the same concept here under subject-verb agreement, because you can always expect one question on this. I've always seen this. Logic 5, Logic 6, Logic 11, what we are discussing right now, definitely are the most important ones out of everything what we have discussed so far. So let's go to the last logic in this entire concept, that is Logic 12. So what does it say? Some, most, any, all could be singular or plural. In fact, these are all indefinite pronouns once again. That's why it says indefinite. Okay. Now come back. How do we understand this? Same thing what we discussed in Logic 11 will be applicable here. Look at the first example. All of the classes are here for the assembly. So the sentence is starting with all. Right? The sentence is starting with all. So the moment we look at all, automatically our brains will strike us saying all is plural. So when your subject is plural, your verb has to be plural. The funda is over. But it is not so all the time is the lesson what we are learning over here. Remember, all can be singular, can be plural. Likewise, some could be singular, could be plural. Any can be singular, can be plural. All could be singular, could be plural. Okay. So now I'm not very sure. Let's imagine I'm not very sure whether all is singular or plural. How do I get to know? Go back to the previous tip what I gave it to you. What did I say? Always look at the next word. If the next word is singular, the subject will be automatically singular. If the next word will be plural, the subject will be automatically plural. Now what are we talking about? We are actually talking about clauses. Clauses is singular or plural? Plural. So all will automatically become plural. When the subject is plural, our verb has to be plural. What is the verb are? Are they matching with each other? Yes. The agreement is absolutely perfect. But now you need to look at the most beautiful part of this entire story. Look at the next sentence. All of the class is here. Once again, the sentence is starting with all, but I'm not sure whether it is singular or plural because all is a very tricky word. So how do I have a clarity on the same? By looking at the next word. What is the next word? Class. Singular or plural? Definitely singular because class is a collective noun and all the collective nouns are always singular. So class is singular. So all also automatically became singular. When the subject is singular, the verb has to be singular. What is the verb is? Is it singular or plural? Certainly singular. Are these two matching with each other? Yes. So the agreement is absolutely perfect. Look at one more example. It says, are there any tomatoes in the fridge? Okay, are there any tomatoes? Actually, to keep this very, very simple, if you look at tomatoes, you'll automatically get the answer. Okay. However, any is a very tricky word. By any chance, if you're planning to look at the word any, now I'm not sure whether any is singular or plural. How do I get to know? By looking at the next word. Tomatoes is the word what we have. Is it singular or plural? Plural. So any automatically became plural. When the subject is plural, our verb has to be plural. What is the verb? Are. Singular or plural? Plural. Are they matching with each other? Definitely yes. The agreement is absolutely perfect. Look at another part of the same story here. Is there any milk? So this time, is there any milk? Any milk. We don't know whether this any milk is singular or plural, right? So how do we understand? Just concentrate on the word milk. Milk is always singular, right? Milk is not countable. Milk is actually measurable. You never go to milk diary and say, give me 3 milks, give me 4 milks, right? You always say, give me 2 liters of milk, maybe 2 kilos of milk, half a liter, 1 packet of milk. That's how we say. The word milk never changes for sure, which everybody knows, correct? So milk is singular automatically. As milk is singular, any also became singular. When the subject is singular, the verb has to be singular. What is the verb? Is singular or plural? Definitely singular. Are they matching with each other? Yes. Same thing is applicable to even, most and some too. That's exactly the message what this entire logic is trying to convey, right? So friends, that's all I have got for all of you in this video. I hope you learned a lot from the video because as I started this video with a statement, more than 60 to 70% of mistakes will automatically get eliminated if we learn subject-verb agreement appropriately. Remember, whatever is applicable in written English is also applicable in spoken English too. It is the same grammar both in terms of writing as well as speaking. So I am keeping my fingers crossed. I hope that you have learned all the logics what we have discussed so far. I wish you all the best for all your competitive examinations you are preparing for currently. I'll be back very soon with another video. Until then, please take a great care of yourself and have an amazing time ahead. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please do like, share and subscribe if you really think that you learned something from this video.